Hey everybody, welcome back. It's another M60 video, as recently promised on the YouTube page, rather. So you notice at the beginning here, it's kind of a rare event. I remembered to switch over to my winter camouflage. Now the rarest event will be in the next battle. Did I remember to switch back away from my winter camouflage? Sadly, that information will be lost to history because I don't remember, and I didn't record the next battle. So, So initially, in my basically what's the point of having winter camouflage on the M60 anyway tank, because look at how much white there actually is. I'm heading to A first, obviously, because it's a conquest map, but if you don't go for the point first thing in conquest, you might as well just J out and go play something else. So, trying to get the tank lined up, and initially I'm going to punch off my artillery there to try and harass them, and hopefully I get a couple hits and it identifies what kind of tanks are coming, and maybe even a ZSU-57 will get hit and destroyed. That's not what happens, but at least you'll see part of it works out. So you see there's a hit, and you can see there's a heavy. So I don't know what the heavy is, but I know there's at least a heavy who's getting close. So the random artillery barrage at the beginning does actually work pretty well, and I even get a second hit and then a third. So it does actually work to kind of point out, hey, there's somebody over there. A little bit of a reconnaissance by fire almost. So we're driving up here, and as I look over, I catch that T-10 in the background there. So I'm going to risk backing up and seeing if I can catch him out in the open, and actually it works out. Now he's playing peekaboo with somebody down that other road, so I've got to be patient here. It was really hard not to fire the instant he popped up, but watch this. Look at the amount of damage that Heat FS shell does. That's pretty sad. That was, yeah, disappointing, to say the least, so... Now you can see we've got a couple friendlies up ahead, further up the road. I'm going to sit here and wait and see if that T-10 pops back up. I'm kind of watching around to the left there. He's not coming back, so... Just kind of scouting around here, watching for him to come out. We've got a couple friendlies up the road now, a T-32 and an M46, I think. I'm just kind of hanging here, wiggling back and forth, looking for anything moving on the enemy side there. Nobody's gotten to A yet, so put a little artillery up where I expect them to be. And next thing, there's the T-10 getting killed. That was the T-10 that I thought was, or the one that I hit and only damages a machine gun, so that question now being answered. I can let the horrifically underpowered, I can't believe what they did to the M60 engine, labor its way trying to get me over this little hump here. I mean, it is truly sad what they did to the M60. It did not used to be quite such a laboring engine. But I can see now that the point is essentially clear. I'm going to scoot on over here with a couple friendlies that I see. We've got A pretty well surrounded. We've collapsed in on it. So I know I've got a friendly right here. I'm going to get in and watch this way, because at this point the Russians have probably driven past the cap and are heading for our spawn down the main road there to the south by the railroad tracks and everything. So I'm going to watch over to the right here. Okay, point captured. Let's move up this valley and catch them trying to head for our spawn. And again, look at the engine. Can barely turn this thing. But regardless. Not quite as bad as you'll see in the Centurion Mark III video coming up soon. Or if you're watching this well into the future, you can go search for my Centurion Mark III first 10 video. So as I'm driving up this little alley here... Okay, we've got a target. Let's back up and try to ambush him. And then that target has a buddy. So yeah, definitely let's back up. Let's back up here. Now, I'm pretty sure you'll see that that T-54 who's up there to the right, he had to have seen me initially when I saw him. And you'll see, because he doesn't come up here, and if you listen... Now, I play this game with 7.1 headphones on, so I have a bit better spatial audio than you'll get through the YouTube. video here, but I could definitely hear him driving past me to the right. So we'll realize that that's where he's coming. He's not gonna... And then, of course, he fires there and gives me an even better indication that he's coming out here. Now, I think he was either trying to ambush me or... Because he is basically looking in towards me. Thankfully, I killed him with that first shot because he definitely had a good shot on me. So I'm going to move forward here. I put artillery on the point. I'm going to move forward and see if I can't find that other tank that was up here to the left. No sign of him, so wherever he went, he's probably what turned around and went back and capped the point away from us, I imagine. Make a little sweep there, don't see anyone. Now, it's funny because the underpowered M60 engine actually kind of saves me here. Because there's that T-54 right there. I was about to go blasting up this hill after him, but the stupid engine couldn't get going straight. You have to get a running start on it. And by the time I get into position, there's the IS-3. I would have driven right out in front of that IS-3 and he probably would have murdered me. So, in this case, it worked out. I hate to admit it, but it worked out. Quick one to the back of the dome. Nighty-night, IS-3. Now that was pretty funny right there. Of course, those bombs did almost nothing and made no sound, which is something I've noticed lately. There's been a lot of bombs falling that don't make any sound, which is just awesome. But our whole team pretty much rendezvous for a picnic lunch here at the cap. We cap it again very quickly. Always nice to get a second cap right after one. All the research points. All the score. Second capture, move out again. Could just drive in a loop here. Alley to point, to alley to point, to alley to point. Killing T-54s all the way, ha ha ha. Tanking through the snow. So there was an IT-1, but I think I saw the kill cam actually go by on him earlier, so no worries there. So coming up here, things are going to slow down just a little bit while our team kind of pulls a more or less static defense around the capture point. And you can definitely hear some Russian AAA go into town and some missile launchers around here. Definitely some AAA action going on. Pretty nuts. Definitely AAA shooting down jet bombers there too. Jet fighters. Now I realize the Heat FS shells cost 1,200 a pop, but that's what I had loaded and chambered, so I had to blast that through the train to be able to see this guy. And then I saved... Think of all the money I saved by not switching to Geico and just using my machine guns to kill that AAA truck there, so... Really, it kind of comes out even. So, backing off here, getting ready to head back over to A and cap it, and then our team actually takes it before I can really get relocated, so. Rather than actually drive into their spawn, and look at this, this is what I'm talking about with the engine. The M60's engine did not used to labor like that simply to turn. That's just, that's shameful. So anyway, I'm not going to drive into their spawn because I refuse to do that. Unless I get really, really, really mad at a team that's doing it to us, then I might do it back to them, but that's rare. So what I will do is drive up beyond our beyond the cap and hold off at a point where I can catch them, but not shoot into their spawn. So I shot and missed on this guy here, and actually hit the hit that loading platform there that I'm parked right behind, the train loading and unloading platform. But then I managed to skim one right across the top of the platform and knock out that Su-122 for kill number 3 of the battle. And now I'm just hanging out here waiting for them to come out and try to make their way to A, and I can kind of defend A and not be ambushed at A myself, caught unawares. However, I'm also not driving into their cap, or rather into their spawn, which I won't do in almost every circumstance. The killing's not quite over yet. We're coming up to the end of it. It's not quite over yet. I've got a first place to pull out of this game coming up here, out of this battle. Okay, target sighted. I've got a pretty good shot on him through here. Somehow I don't actually hit him, and then I luck out and deflect his shot that he fires. Don't ask me how that happened. Comes back again. I put a critical right through his gunner, and then I get an assist from a bomber there. Works for me. Or, well, even from a BF-109. So that does actually, that finishes the killing and the scoring for me for the game there. So from here on out, you'll see what happens, but in a moment, there we go. So we got a fighter who just strafed a guy behind our spawn there, so I could see him. So I mark him out, and then as I'm typing a little bit of a taunt here, because after all, that is what he's doing. Well, while I'm typing that, I get killed by a T-54 1947, but all the rest of the battle here was me spawning in my M103 and just searching around back in our spawn for the guy who was camping in the T-54 inside our spawn. I never did see him, and he was still back there because somebody shot him at the end of it, but that was it. So that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll try to get some more M60 battles out here, and here are the rest of the scores. I hope everybody liked this one, and let me know what you thought of it. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.